Hey guys, today we'll be commenting on a video by Graham, Stephan and
Kevin OLeary. So I think these two individuals are very interesting. So Kevin OLeary is basically a serial entrepreneur and an investor as well. Net worth is above 400 million. And of course, Graham is started off with YouTube, kind of a YouTube star, a huge player also in the real estate industry itself. And his net worth is about probably between the 10 to 15 million mark.
And today, our main objective is to understand the insights of investors like them and what can we learn from them. I'm Ivan Tai.
And I'm Sean.
And together we are the co-founders of
Quadrant.
So in this video, Graham, Stephan and Kevin OLeary touch on this topic of leverage and their insights on it. So let's take a look.
Property 7 purchased 2.1 million. That's our number one on the hit parade, right? This is this year.
Yeah, so this is where I am living now.
Okay. Loan, this is your primary residence.
Yes.
That's where you got the 2.875 rate. Now at the end of this journey, what is your total debt nut across all the buildings?
About 2.9.
Okay, I'm just saying that would start to make me nervous. Just not because it isn't well invested. That's a big number. Like a lot of it. Can you take the hit? If just look at it that way.
Yeah.
Can you pay down, $3 million?
Yes.
As long as you can say yes to that, you can continue to do this. But the minute you get so levered up that you can't find $15 million, I don't have any debt. I've got to a point in my life where I just don't like debt. So I buy things for cash, and I understand why debt works in this model, assuming the rental market remains buoyant. But there comes a point in your life, and you're still too young, I don't want any obligation to anybody.
So basically, Kevin was saying that a 2.9 million debt on Graham's portfolio of about $10 million is something that made him very uncomfortable. So that statement itself also made me very uncomfortable because I tell you why, I have more debt than that. and my net worth, I haven't reached 10 million yet now.
So I will say congratulations that you have like 3 million worth of debt. So my take is this, if we are talking about Stephan Graham having a $3 million worth of debt, right? It's likely that he has put in a down payment or deposit of about roughly $1 million. So when we look at it in context, right? In his whole net worth portfolio, he has $1 million invested in and $3 million worth of debt. And so when I look at this thing, you see, real estate is actually an asset class by itself. We are not talking about boats or buying like fast cars or what so, right? What we are seeing is that if this asset class, right, the prices really drop, it may drop by 20%, 25%, so the maximum loss may only be $1 million. So to be frank, if I am buying a property, right, with $3 million loan and $1 million down payment, right, I don't expect to lose more than $1 million.
Actually, if you think about it, assuming the bank is able to give you 80% loan, which means that someone, let's say with a $200,000 down payment, and assuming that's all he has, right, he's able to get an asset value of $1 million. So, given Graham's net worth, or basically he have a net worth of 10 million, right? Technically, think about it, he can get up to $50 million worth of asset.
And 40 million worth of
loan, right? But instead, he only have 2.9 million in loan. So, which means that he is very, very under leveraged and very safe as compared to any average citizen in his particular home country.
Yeah, like what I said earlier, right? If you have $3 million worth of loans, right? I mean, if you are talking about a property that's $4 million, if it drops down to 3 million, to be frank, it's a dramatic drop, and that is likely the maximum loss. So in any case, right, whenever I take on a $3 million loan, I will not necessarily lose the whole sum.
Actually Kevin OLeary, he's obviously a very successful guy. He made a lot of money in business, investments and all that. And I'm pretty sure in his life, he will definitely take on debt. Definitely one, right? So in this scenario, why do you think at this current stage, he's like pretty much against that?
I think we really need to put into context of his net worth. You see, if someone is actually already worth $400 million, right, it doesn't make sense to try to stretch to make a bit more. So in this context, right, maybe time is super important to him and convenience in that sense. So he might as well don't leverage and just buy properties itself. But to be frank, for me, right, I will never do that. Why do I say this? You see, real estate class, right, it's sort of like a lower returns compared to like stock investments or other forms. So in real estate itself, I will definitely leverage. Otherwise, the returns doesn't make sense and I might as well don't touch real estate at all.
Yeah, so in this scenario, if you think about it, so if he have 400 million in liquidables, technically he put into any stock and it gives like a 2% return per year.
2% is actually
Very
low,
very low,
bro.
right? And he don't care if the stock market goes up or goes down. He have 8 million returns every year, and it's not really the easiest to spend 8 million consistently every year.
I think as when you get to that kind of net worth, right, you can't finish eating. To be frank, you will get very, very fat.
Yeah. So therefore, I think coming back to this whole thing is that I think yes, I think Kevin O'Leary is very successful and everything, but sometimes his advice might be more suitable for someone who's maybe of net worth 100 million and above. But in this scenario, I would definitely take on that because I still want to go on a very growth trajectory. I want to make sure that I can leverage as much as possible, of course safely with proper strategies in place, a safety net and everything to make sure that I'm safe from ensuring I don't get margin costs and all. I think of course all those come to play, right? But the key here is that if I don't take advantage of cheap money out there, I don't think I will ever reach a net worth of like a 50 or 100 million by just using only my money. So it's very challenging to reach to the next level.
I have a different perspective, which is if we are talking about background, like for example, if I'm running a business or I'm an entrepreneur and I borrow like $10 million to invest into the business and try to grow it as much as possible, there's a possibility and chance, right, that I will lose this $10 million. However, if I take the same money and invest in the real estate, right, if I put in 10 million, maybe I will lose 2 million or so. So I would say that the risk and reward is actually very, very different, very drastically different. So in other words, I will use leverage to borrow for real estate.
Yes, so unless you are like 100 million and above net worth, maybe Kevin O'Leary's advice would be suitable. But if not, then especially if you're still on a growth trajectory, and especially if you are still looking to retire with a sum of money that you have not achieved yet, then you should be on a growth trajectory and invest safely. Take on leverage, but also making sure that you have the ability to pay the monthly mortgage. So advice for you guys perhaps is to put in at least a 2 years worth of safety net mortgage and everything one side, so that you can sleep soundly at night and don't even need to worry if the market goes down or up.
You are totally right, Sean. So I hope you guys have been learning something from this video so far. If you do, right, do remember to give us a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel. So once again, I'm Ivan.
And I'm Sean.
And we are the I Quadrant. See you soon. Bye.
Yes, so we are not done with this video. So stay tuned for part 2 of this video. So if you want to be notified when we actually put on more videos, just do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll be notified when we actually upload the next video.
See you soon.